Now this illustration deals with additional protective measures, and these measures are outlined in 70E 130.4 C as in car 1 through C3 as in car. Now notice these additional measures are boxed in information at the very top of the illustration, and there's three things to look at. The appropriate safety related practices that should be used, determine what those practices are. We'll look at that a little bit more in detail. And what is the arc flash boundary? And the PPE that is needed to be able to cross and work within that arc flash boundary that is kind of listed there on page 25 of the around page 25, 26 in the 70E document. Also, the PPE that you would select is listed in your table 130.7C 15C. You could pick that up there, I believe, on page 37. But now notice note 1, this task has been determined to be a category 2 task. Now, based upon that, we have gone through the appropriate tables to find this out. The first table that we would review would be table 130.7C, or 5C, excuse me, 130.5C, to determine if we even needed PPE. Well, it's been determined, yes, for this particular task here, for testing on 240 up to 600 volt type equipment, that we did need PPE. So now we would move over to our next table, which would be our table 130.7C 15A, and we would find it is a category 2 task. The next step then would be to review our table 130.7C 15C, and that particular table, based upon a category 2, as you see here in the boldface typing here, that we would need a category 8 suit, which is basically a category 2 that give us 8 cal. Now this is the equipment that would be listed in our table here, 130.7C 15C. We can find this equipment that is listed here with a minimum rating of 8, category 2, and then this would be the protective equipment that we would need listed here. And all that information is found in that table just quoted. Now, that's going through the job task category risk tables. But notice there are certain parameters we have to have. The available short circuit current cannot exceed 25 kA. The overcurrent device has to operate and clear within 0.033 seconds, basically, which is 2 cycles or less, to fall within this category. Now, we've already talked about the table here to determine the category based upon the task that we found in 130.5C, table 130.5C to be exact. And we did need the equipment, and then we, based upon we needed the equipment for the task that was being performed here, testing, on this voltage level you see here, we determined it was a category 2. So we needed to select the equipment accordingly. Now, notice this is a new section, and it has been added to reflect the appropriate distance for the selection of the personal PPE equipment based on using the tables, and to verify if additional protective measures is needed in accordance with 110.5H3 of 70E. Now, another method could be used. If you were 12 calories per centimeter squared or less, we could reference our table 130.5G and select our equipment based upon a 12 calories per centimeter squared or less calculation, or if the calculation produced the calories per centimeter squared of over 12, then we would select the equipment based upon that. Now, if the final method that you could use would be the Annex H, and we could look at our table H.2, and there are simply two uniforms you could select there. A Category 2 that would deal with 8 cal or less, or you could select a Category 4, which would deal with Category 4 or 3. Now, that would be selecting your simplified method there. Check these out and see which method you want to use to select your PPE when you're working in the limited approach boundary, but you've crossed the arc flash boundary, which has been determined. And notice that arc flash boundary is already calculated if you use the job task method. It's already calculated and given to you, or otherwise you would have to go to the Annex D as in dog and run the calculation formula there and determine what the arc flash boundary would be in calories per centimeter squared.